Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this 10th Annual Forum of the Danube Strategy. 10 years ago, who would have imagined the changes we have seen and the challenges we now face? The pandemic and the recovery, the alarming progress of the climate emergency with floods and fires across Europe. But there have also been giant steps forward, such as the advances in teleworking and digitalization, and Europe's cooperation in tackling the crisis. We have worked together on vaccines, and we have worked together on an historical new recovery package. To quote our President von der Leyen, whatever the challenge, less cooperation is not the answer. And indeed, the Danube Strategy is based on the premise that more cooperation is the answer, and this makes the strategy more relevant than ever. In the coming months and years, I see three crucial areas for your cooperation. First, innovation and the digital transition. For many companies and people, the health crisis brought a decade's worth of digital change in just a few short months. According to last year's McKinsey survey of 900 executives from across the globe, during the pandemic, their companies accelerated the digitalization of their customer and supply chain interactions and of their internal operations by 3 to 4 years. And for smaller companies and individuals, the pace of change has often been even greater than that. How has the Danube regions fared in this trend? If we look at the 2021 European Innovation Scoreboard and European Regional Competitiveness Index, in both cases we see that the Danube region has some of the top scorers in Europe, but also some of the lowest scorers. More must be done to close this digital and innovation divide. The Danube Strategy is the ideal vehicle for facilitating cooperation between those already fit for the digital age and those that are lagging behind. It can be a key tool to reduce internal disparities and increase territorial cohesion in the macro region. So I am delighted to note that innovation and digitalization are horizontal themes of the revised action plan and the key themes of our event today and tomorrow. Innovation and digitalization are covered by all priority areas of strategy in one way or another, so you have a strong basis. The challenge now is to turn words into action. The second crucial area is, of course, the European Green Deal. This was adopted before the pandemic struck, but the floods and the fires across Europe this summer are a tragic reminder that the green transition is more pressing than ever. The Green Deal remains the European Union's top political priority and goes hand in hand with the digital transition. And as you know, the climate emergency is a particularly pressing issue in the Danube region, where floods, droughts, and increasing biodiversity are already affecting the lives of ordinary citizens. The European Green Deal aims to tackle these issues at their source, transforming Europe into a sustainable and resource-efficient economy, which is still competitive, prosperous, and fair. But we know that some places, regions, and cities will find this transition more challenging. To ensure that in practice no region or city is left behind and that no Europeans are, in real life, not forgotten, cohesion policy expects to invest over 100 billion euros in delivering the Green Deal for all regions and cities. So I urge you to take up this challenge by making sure that projects under the strategy deliver this green transition everywhere in the Danube region. I urge you to mobilize the considerable resources of all the Danube partners, and I particularly urge you to innovate, to think outside the box. Solutions you develop here could benefit all of Europe. I also urge you to show the way in ensuring local ownership of transition, involving local actors, including economic and social partners, including young people, and bodies representing the civil society. To be effective, partners should not be consulted only once. They should be involved throughout the process, from early on in the planning all the way through the implementation. And the third crucial area is embedding. In the Danube Strategy, you have already provided a sound basis for the embedding of the strategy in European and national funds. My thanks to the current Slovak presidency, to the previous Croatian presidency, to the priority area coordinators, to the national coordinators, to the Danube Strategy Point, to the networks of managing authorities, and to all who have worked together to set up this system, and for the work you have done to incorporate the pre-accession instrument and the neighbourhood instrument. You have done good work, but we need to go further. Now it is the time to ensure that the objectives of the Danube Strategy are included in partnership agreements, mainstream programs, and cross-border programs. You have worked hard to create this momentum. We must not lose it now. You can, of course, count on our support, but the work must start at local level, regional level, and national level, where you, ladies and gentlemen, are the masters of the exercise. So, in conclusion, at the 10th year mark, we find that the Danube Strategy is even more relevant than ever. As Ukraine takes over the presidency, the first time ever that a neighborhood country holds the presidency of a macroregional strategy, we see, once again, your commitment to blazing a trail for others to follow. I urge you to blaze a trail in innovation and digitization, developing cooperation between leading and lagging regions to the benefit of all. Blaze a trail in green projects across the region, which innovate both in terms of content and in terms of inclusive partnership. Blaze a trail in embedding, building on the partnership and momentum you have to improve all the new cohesion programs. As you do all this, I urge you, think of the next 10 years. What do you want your regions to stand in 10 years' time? I leave you with these questions, with these challenges, but above all, I wish you a fruitful discussion. Thank you once again.